Today we did arrive early. Look, it's still dark. Look, it's almost here. Look at this beautiful sunrise here on the island of Youth in Playa Larga. For anyone wondering where I like to fish, let me tell you, it's incredibly cold. I'm afraid to get in the water. Look, there are almost no mosquitoes. Let's see what we can do. Well, here we are going to get all the equipment ready. I'm going to fish with that partner that you see over there. The sun is already coming up. Man, it's really cloudy. Let's see what we can do. And with this introduction, I welcome you to this new video on this channel. Fishing is going bad. The channel that shows you, without filter, what the day-to-day life of a submarine fisherman in Cuba is like. And today is no exception. You may be wondering why I titled the video this way. Because of a series of factors and events that happened. Today we had to stop fishing. And even with so much bad luck, I lost a big fish in the least imaginable way. Luckily, before all that, what you're seeing on the screen happened. It was always possible to do a more or less adequate fishing. So see how and how many fish we caught today. Here they are below.
Jay, put it on the screen.
Once we had caught this large kajik, I noticed that a hefty pom-pom fish entered this whole There you see how it went over there. And now it went back again, and I'm catching it. Let's see how the smell won't even let me calm down for anything more than to throw it. There it went again, and I threw it. Leila got stuck back there, so you have to take a breath to get it out. Now we're going. Work. There, it felt like my colleague threw over there, and you see him struggling with a fish there. That right now, you can see which one it is. There he is, being there with his little fish there. And well, here we are already in the deep end. You know how the story goes. I fish and he leads me. Let's go down here to what seems to be the first good piece of the day, which is an American grouper. It was up on that hill, you see there on the right. And now it's come down, and look how it goes to the other rock. At first it seems to be running away from me, but suddenly it turns and does the typical pose that all groupers do, which is looking at you with its little fins, and that's what it gives me an opportunity here. We have a good grouper in the jump. And now we're here at the second ridge, which is the deepest part where you can fish, because from there the water drops down to about 50 meters. Here we are. Up here it's about 28, 29 meters. It varies depending on the height of the hills in the background. It can go down to 31 meters, 22 meters or less. I'm doing a reconnaissance drop because although the water is very clear, the depth doesn't let me see the fish from above. Look how the bottom drops down there. I only see these two little buckets. So I signaled the rope man to pull me up, so I don't waste oxygen for nothing. Since I didn't see anything, we swim a little further forward, and here I decide to make the other descent here in these types of bottoms that are very deep and you can't see the fish from above. The only fishing you can do is wait. We go down to the bottom, we wait a little. If we see any fish, if we see life, we spend more time on the bottom. If we see bare bottom, like in this case, there's no need to wait at all. I look carefully, there's nothing around. So I go up. This is the second descent without seeing anything. Normally the second row's here because there aren't many fishermen who can fish here. They almost always have plenty of fish. Today is an unusual day. Since I already saw that there aren't many fish today, I decide to catch this Zabaco that's here. Look, the Silva brothers recently made a video talking about these fish, how they take you to the bottom little by little. In this case, there's no problem because I know them, so I prepare myself as if I were going to reach the bottom. Even if I catch them in the middle of the water, yeah. But for those who don't know them, it is a problem. There I am showing my colleague that there is a large pompano. I make a descent. These fish are quite curious, and I stay more or less here floating in the middle of the water until the fish gets a little closer. Since I can already see that it is the closest, then I swim slowly forward. And when I give it this shot from a distance, I catch it. The shot went a little high. And the fish swam with great force to the bottom. Now I grab my colleague's spear gun to finish it off. These fish are very uncomfortable from above because they are very thin. And pay close attention to what happens now. Then I go back up to recover before the rope successfully pulls it somewhat higher, nearer the surface. It is almost gone, it is almost torn, so I am desperate. And I shoot quickly, and look what happened. I hit my fuse, guys. Look, I'll show it to you in slow motion so you can see. Instead of hitting the fish, I hit the fuse on my rod, ripping it off at the top end, freeing the fish.
Damn, he's gonna hit me.
Unbelievable, guys. If I had shot him on purpose, I wouldn't have hit him at all. Hit him at all. Another problem is that with this shotgun, my partner's shot goes over the top. I don't hit anyone. There I go. The shotgun. I was eating flasher, and when they shot him, I missed too. When I went to load it, it went off, so it was time to go back to shore. Now with my rifle without a fuse, and with his going off, and I can't even hit a melon underwater, it's time to walk to shore. Back on the first ledge, I see these two barracudas stuck under that hill, and I decide to take it down with a rope man's rifle to see if I can hit it. If he could go down here at these depths, it would be ideal, because if he has, could aim with his rifle, but I can't, because I've never shot with one, and the line is straight. It's uncomfortable for me. At first I went down to this one, but I saw that this other one was bigger, and I changed targets. I got a pretty good shot, but a little further ahead it got tangled up in a coral top. And after 2 or 3 descents, without being able to untangle it, I pulled it to see what would happen. And thank God it didn't come loose. As you can see, the current is very strong. I killed the pike over there, and look how far it dragged me. It's impossible to stay in the same place. Consequently, it is continuously swimming against the current to keep me in place. I couldn't even go down with a lot of air, and I didn't have time to untangle it. Look, I had to pull out the coral. This is a shame, but hey, I had no choice. That bubble that you see the pike releasing there is the swim bladder that bursts due to the sudden change in pressure. This loosens them up a lot, and it's good for us because it prevents us from getting hurt. Now, with this last catch, it was time to go to the shore, but the hardest part was coming, which is jumping the breakers. Look at the waves. The air increased, and it's a bit complicated. The technique here is to catch the wave, take a breath, and when the wave comes, grab your head. And that way the wave doesn't hit you, but passes over you. You have to be really prepared. Because if you don't take a breath when you have to, when you go to take it, the hour passes over you and doesn't let you take a breath, and you get really hot. But with good practice, there's no problem. Here the surface light up, it's getting deeper, and we're jumping and breaking. We are approximately 100 meters wide. Keep coming. This blue area that you see there means that we have already crossed the breakers and that the waves are no longer a danger. And now I will say goodbye, gentlemen, but not before wishing you much health and prosperity in this new year. Follow me for more, and don't miss the next one.